Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Jeffrey Lazarus, and you are watching Welcome to Thunderwolves on the Gaming Vector. Thunderwolves is a $10 downloadable Xbox Live Arcade title. I believe it is also available on PC. And this is an arcade-style helicopter shooter. So let's go ahead and see what is available here. Number one, under Help and Options. Your How to Play menu is simply just running you through what's on the HUD, so on and so forth. The control configuration. This is a sticking point for me personally. So, as you can see, your ascent and descent are tied to clicking in your left and right thumbsticks, while the A and B buttons are left completely unused. Now, if we jump into the other controller configurations, we can see that it's pretty much the same way across all of them. However, maybe moving ascend and descend to X and Y or so on and so forth. I would really like to see this with rebindable controls, and if the PC version has that, then I would probably recommend that version over this one. So since this is an arcade shooter, we do have leaderboards. So as you can see, all of the different people score who've played through the game or played through the various missions. Achievements as well. It does have local co-op as well as single player. So let's go ahead and jump in and look at the gameplay. So we're actually going to go back to Mission 2. And this is actually the first mission after the tutorial, so that we can hopefully show a little bit of the gameplay variety. So as you see here, we have your difficulty setting. You can set it before each individual mission. We're going to leave it on normal. You can get various skins for your helicopters. I'm not sure exactly how to do that, and to be honest, it's just cosmetic change, so I don't really care that much. Now, alternatively, we have different helicopters to choose from. Now, as you can see, they do have different statistics. I'm assuming that's maneuverability, armor, and possibly speed. But there's no concrete numbers there. It's just a couple little yellow slider bars, and I haven't really noticed much difference between them. However, the main difference is they have different types of missiles. So as you can see, this one has kind of just your regular dumbfire rockets. It's got homing missiles, and then it's got a controllable missile with a camera mounted to it. This one, on the other hand, has the same dumbfire rockets. It's got some spiraling lock-on missiles or spiraling homing missiles. I'm not really sure what makes those better or worse than these. I haven't really been able to tell from using both of them. And then it's also got a missile that blasts apart into smaller projectiles and does damage to a large area. Now, for the purpose of this mission, since I actually know what's coming, I'm going to stick with the Cherokee, but this one I've had some fun with, especially with that specialty rocket. So we're going to go ahead and jump in. We'll get a bit of voice acting first, and then we can take a look at the gameplay. And it would appear that the voice acting never triggered. Normally this screen's read out loud by kind of your commander. Since the voice acting never actually triggered for whatever reason, I'll just go ahead and let you know it's not the best voice acting in the world. It tries to be funny and campy, and you'll hear it throughout the mission, of course. But, it could definitely be better. But I'm not sure if maybe they were going for kind of funny and campy, being that it's a arcade-style shooter. So let's go ahead and just skip over this so we can get right to the gameplay. So once again, ascending and descending your helicopter requires clicking in the sticks. You have your machine gun, you have your missiles. You can change through your different types of missiles using the D-pad. You have a turbo speed boost. You have a zoom-in capability, and that's really about it. You have some flares to get rid of homing rockets. So we're going to go ahead and switch over to this specialty missile, because this is something that I really like and have been having a lot of fun with. There you can see the points popping up. As I said, this is an arcade shooter. It does keep track of your score as you play. Now, the weapons are kind of fun to use. The helicopters are not extremely difficult to fly, but I can see people with a higher acumen, or maybe somebody playing with mouse and keyboard, something that's got a little more... What's the word I'm looking for? A little more precision. I can see them being able to do some really crazy stuff with the helicopters. Right now, basically, I just kind of hover and shoot, and that's more or less it. Now there you can see all the stuff popping up on the screen, you know, epic and so on and so forth. Once again, very arcadey style game, but I'm actually having a lot of fun with it so far. Once I kind of get past that ascent and descent control issue. And like I say, it may be something that is kind of better taken care of on the PC version. Just take care of that rocket, and we'll fire another one of these. So, if we can get through this next section, we can kind of show off some of the alternative parts of the gameplay, because every mission isn't just fly around in your helicopter and blow everything up, and they make that fairly apparent in the tutorial. There are parts where you're going to need to take out the enemies on the ground while not killing friendlies on the ground, and that can be a bit tricky. You need to just kind of stick to your machine gun at that point and avoid using rockets. Now we're going to go ahead and move up to the next area here, and then we can get a look at some of the other gameplay. So here we are. Now we're going into a rail turret sequence, and these are kind of fun because they add a little break to the gameplay, but you're still sitting here racking up score. You don't have to worry about controlling the helicopter. You're just kind of shooting everything that they throw at you, which can actually be quite a bit of stuff. Now, I'm not sure how well you'll be able to hear this, but the music in the background also fits fairly well with the type of game this is. It's got kind of a hard rock soundtrack going on in the background. Something that's really designed to just, like, get the adrenaline going while you're doing this arcade gameplay. So, would I recommend this game? For $10, with the amount of content that I've seen and the amount of fun I've been having with it, absolutely I would recommend this game. Now, given the option, I would recommend it on PC, assuming that it has fully rebindable controls, so that I could maybe bind the ascent and descent to some different keys, or possibly use a joystick, you know, things of that nature. But that's kind of my take on the game. It's fun. It's a good bit of fun for what it is. Like I say, it's a $10 downloadable title. Given the option, I would recommend it on PC, but if all you have is the Xbox 360, this is a perfectly serviceable version of the game as well. It has a few flaws, but if you can look past those, it's quite a bit of fun, actually, and it's got some nice gameplay variety. It's got a pretty decent soundtrack, if a bit repetitive at times. And if you're one of those people who really gets into doing score attacks and leaderboards and so on and so forth, then this is probably a game that's worth your time. So, with that having been said, I have been your host, Jeffrey Lazarus, and thank you for watching Welcome to Thunderwolves on the Gaming Vector.